In what was expected to bring finality on a case that has dragged on for years, the Makate versus Vodacom matter is heading back to the Supreme Court of Appeal. The Constitutional Court said it was not happy with aspects of the Supreme Court of Appeal's ruling. Justice Madlanga says a proper determination must be made by the court.
The matter must be remitted to the Supreme Court of Appeal for a proper determination of the appeal, and that must be before a differently constituted panel of the Supreme Court of Appeal. The court makes the following order. 1, leave to appeal is granted. 2, the appeal is upheld. 3, the order of the Supreme Court of Appeal is set aside. 4, the matter is remitted to the Supreme Court of Appeal to be reheard by a differently constituted panel of judges of that court. 5, each party must pay their own wasted costs in respect of the abortive hearing of the matter in the Supreme Court of Appeal. 6, the first respondent must pay the applicant's costs in this court, including the costs of 3 counsel. I hand down the judgment.
From what we could get from Justice Madlanga's judgment, there were really important reasons why the case had to be sent back. The Supreme Court of Appeal, according to Justice Madlanga, had committed certain errors in how it assessed the liability of Vodacom to pay Mr. Makate, and those errors unfortunately made it very difficult for the Constitutional Court to make a final determination. And so that's why it had to be sent back for the Supreme Court of Appeal to clear up those errors that were dealt with on appeal, and hopefully that will be the end of the case, because it can't really come back to the Constitutional Court, because that in and of itself would be an injustice.
Despite the slight setback, Makate says he's still resilient.
Now, obviously, we expected a different decision, and we have to abide with the court decision. And we're going back to the SCA because they have said that the SCA must apply themselves properly, and maybe outline the reasons that actually led them to a decision. That's what we're going to do here. I think the CC could have probably finalized the matter. We still had a hearing at the High Court, which they could have gone to as well, and then ignored the SCA completely. They are at large to do that. Done that, yeah. Well, if you listen to what Justice Madlanga was saying that in terms of especially the determination of the CEO, they did not, thoroughly deal with that and why it was inequitable. And I think the High Court did that. So, yeah. Well, I'm still resilient. I'll forever be. We'll go to the SCA, and the SCA must just relook at the case and then provide us with the judgment that will then stand the test. No, definitely. It's our case. We'll also address the issue of the cross-appeal, which they want us to do, and we'll do that.
Meanwhile, the Vodacom share price saw a huge jump but has since retreated. Analyst from ABSA, Ricardo Smith, says the market seemed to give a nod to the ruling.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, so the share has been quite volatile. I think immediately after the decision, we saw quite a huge jump in the share price. It has come down slightly, so overall for the day, it is a bit flattish, but it is quite important to contextualize that, Vodacom has been rallying quite aggressively. It is up close to 40% for the year. Although longer term is still attractively valued, but certainly, market participants happy with today's ruling. The 29 to 50 odd billion previously stated, would be more than half the value of Vodacom. And so to the extent that they afford to actually make the payout was questionable. So market's happy with the ruling. We'll see, what the Supreme Court of Appeals says going forward.
Vodacom says it is pleased that the Constitutional Court has upheld its appeal, with the case referred to a new panel of the Supreme Court of Appeal. It says it will now review the judgment in full and take the appropriate next steps. Diabosito, SABC News, Johannesburg.